Aston Martin DB11 AMR International launched Queenstown, New Zealand. Aston Martin's newly created AMR division Aston Martin Racing has spun off its first variant using the DB11 as its owner car. The Aston Martin DB11 AMR arrives in Australia around December, effectively replacing the V12-powered DB11 Coupe with a significant power boost owned on Germany's Nürburgring, where the in-house hot dog division has based itself. The AMR promises a sportier premise without diluting the car's core. During appeal, it delivers mixed results. Balance of that. The new Aston Martin DB11 AMR arrives in Australia later this year with quite a point to prove as the first proponent of Aston Martin's newly devised AMR performance division. The DB11 AMR promises more power and precision than the outgoing V12 DB11 Coupe that it replaces. It is also a car tasked with addressing the foibles of the original DB11, and there were a few in regular conveyance. The DB11 were okay, but the harder you pushed, the more it squirmed. The troublesome rear axle is regularly cited as the cause. The British V12 lacking the precision and confidence to truly inspire its driver to push on. Aston Martin obviously agreed. Since its initial launch back in 2016, the DB11 range has matured rapidly and intelligently, explains Aston Martin's global boss Andy Palmer. However, we felt the V12 could reveal more of its sporting potential while remaining the consummate GT. It's the last part of that sentence, remaining the consummate GT, where the AMR's origins can really be traced. All told, it supersedes the outgoing V12 by offering a sharper and more responsive drive, but it's far from the highly feted performance-owned special its name might suggest. First, the AMR division took a regular DB11's 5.2-liter twin-turbo V12 and added an additional 23 kilowatts for an outright 470 kilowatts and 700 Nm. Then it tinkered with the shift pattern on the car's 8-speed VF toward converter automatic transmission and added a new exhaust setup that enhances sound when sport mode is engaged. Doing this improved the GT's official 0 to 100 km/h time from 3.9 seconds to 3.7 seconds, while improving the speed ceiling to 334 km/h, up 13 km/h. Then engineers went about cultivating a more responsive dynamic skill set. They resisted the typical path of stiffer spring rates or parts fit enhancements such as rear wheel steering. Instead, they remapped the existing adaptive dampers, added stiffer suspension bushes, and updated the car's limited slip differential despite the interventions of carbon fiber everywhere, including plenty of optional add-ons. The AMR tips the scales at a portly 1,870 kilograms. Cosmetically, the Aston Martin DB11 AMR receives a thorough once-over in the form of more gloss black highlights and exposed carbon fiber, a smoke front grille, prominent front splitter, and forged 20-inch wheels that save 3.5 kilograms of weight on each corner. The limited run batch of 100 DB11 AMRs like that driven here feature the Mark's signature edition trim, which injects steering climb highlights inside and out. Internally, the AMR model brings a sports steering wheel, monotone leather, and Alcantara upholstery with a bright line-colored central strip and AMR logos on the head restraints and kick plates. Familiar surroundings. The cabin of the DB11 AMR feels like a lesson in Aston Martin interior design as much as anything else, with stakeholders persisting to familiar switch gear and signature TR&D gear selector buttons adorning the dashboard center fascia. This spells good and bad. First, the interior has an intimate craftsmanship about it, reflecting a claimed 200 man-hours spent on each individual vehicle. It looks, feels, and smells magnificent inside. The decadently lined finishes appearing as though you're in a quality Italian leather shop. It is a fastidiously comfortable cabin, 2 big broad chairs, and a low-set driving position imbue the driver with confidence, and the 3-stage seat warmers prove an instant winner in New Zealand's cooler climes. There are a few niggling complaints, however. There was an annoying rattle emanating from behind the dashboard of our $469,800 DB11 AMR Signature Edition, despite only 1,700 kilometers on the odometer, and the car's switch gear pinched from the Mercedes-Benz parts. Another Aston's alliance with Daimler Black's intuition and feels poorly integrated. In fact, the entire center fascia feels fussy and presents poorly with myriad buttons and switch gear. You could say the same thing of a new Porsche 911 Turbo but at least in that case, everything feels uniform and cohesive clearly. However, the intricate details of the cabin fit out pale into insignificance when you thump the AMR's starter button. The 5.2-liter blown V12 fires to life before settling into its menacing signature idle big bore gurgle. There is truly no replacement for displacement in terms of sound, and the Aston maintains a hugely satisfying tune despite the intervention of two turbochargers, which are usually akin to Cavarotti performing his tenor with a cold, but in this case do not dilute the V12's awe-inspiring soundtrack like its regular decibels 11 before it. The AMR performs quite adeptly in road-going beauties. The car's comfort bias is best exploited in the softest damper setting, where all of the harshest of bumps are ironed out proficiently and the body feels well controlled over the mix of sweeping corners. The V12 has power and torque in every circumstance. Officially peak figures of 470 kilowatts and 700 Nm are reached from 6,500 RPM and 1,500 RPM respectively, and the 8-speed automatic does a decent enough job of translating that power into speed. Despite uneven accelerator pedal feel, all told you don't particularly notice the extra 23 kilowatts during gear acceleration, and as before, the car's stability control system is on constant standby even during third and fourth gear bursts of heavy acceleration. But boy does it sound good. While the engine noise really captures you, the ever-present road noise does not. In fact, the constant tire roar from the AMR Bridgestone is particularly intrusive on New Zealand coarse chip roads network. On a short road loop, the AMR begins to show its penchant for long sweeping corners, building into a rhythm and confidence at moderate speeds. Perhaps this is also a reflection of the driver. The AMR doesn't feel like a car you can jump in and find yourself at home. Its large footprint, portly curved weight and slightly remote steering takes time to gel with. The V12's head is particularly accentuated in the company of the existing V8 powered decibels 11, whose AMG source twin turbo engine is some 95 kilowatts down on power but equally 100 kilograms down on weight. The V8 is immediately the lighter and more engaging car of the two, particularly during quick changes in direction. The trackless and Aston Martin is clearly on an upward trajectory with its new products, and no vehicle signals that more than the arrival of its new DBS superletter. And less relevant in this example, the Vantage at the Aston Martin decibels 11 AMR launch on New Zealand South Island Motoring Co. treated the DBS as a yardstick. Sure, the direct comparison of two cars separated by enough insignificant $100,000. The AMR costs $428,000. The DBS $517,000 wouldn't normally be made, except today we are tracking both back to back at the Highlands Motorsport Park in Combo. First, the DBS. It is sharp, confident and almost maniacally fast. Using the V12 has its major calling card and supporting it with hunkered down dynamics and lightness that belies its curb weight. Next, it's the decibels 11 AMR. It struggles to match the agility, sure-footedness and confidence of its more extroverted, in-your-face sibling, which makes sense since the DBS comes with sticker springs, recalibrate dampers, firmer suspension bushes and a wider track and wider rubber. It means that, for one, the AMR's front end simply isn't as responsive. There doesn't appear to be the same level of lateral adhesion, and the steering requires a couple of mid-corner adjustments in tighter corners. More than that, it is difficult to get into a rhythm once the tempo has been raised. I find myself apologizing to the instructor on several occasions because the car has abruptly pulled down a gear as I whine on the accelerator, and that shrink-wrap feel of the decibels 11 AMR's cohorts is simply missing. But then Aston insists the AMR isn't solely about performance, it's also about maintaining the decibels 11's GD appeal and addressing the foibles of the original. The new Aston Martin decibels 11 AMR go some way in doing that, but amid the British sports car maker's brave new landscape and the product onslaught of 7 new models in 7 years, this particular car feels as though it is carrying remnants of the old guard. As before, the V8 feels like the pick of the decibels 11 range. How much wish the 2018 Aston Martin decibels 11 AMR cost? Price $428,000 plus on-road costs. Engine 5.2-liter twin-turbo V12 petrol output 470 kilowatts / 700 Nm transmission 8-speed automatic fuel 11.4L/100 km ADR combined CO2 265 G/km ADR combined safety